Hey guys, it's Leo Stargazer. I am here today with our weekly all sign-specific astrological tarot readings. This is for the first week of October, October 1st through October 7th. And this week, the astrology is pretty clear. We have Mercury changing signs finally after being in Virgo for quite a while, retrograding through Virgo. It finally enters Libra. Mercury enters Libra on Wednesday, and we are excited to welcome it. I'm sure Libra is excited to welcome Mercury in. We're going to be really smart about balance. We're going to be really communicative about balance. I'm very excited about this new era for Mercury. The only other thing that I see that's happening this week that's pretty key is that the moon is slowly waning on its way to a solar eclipse happening on October 14th. So the moon spends a lot of this week just slowly heading towards that and beginning to wane as we start to reflect, as we start to cleanse, as we start to heal ourselves and remove all negativity and really set ourselves up for a really fresh start to October. So let's get started right away. I'm super excited about this reading. I'm going to be doing a thinking, feeling, doing spread for each sign, and we will see how all of you are thinking, feeling, and doing. Okay, so before we get started, let me take a sip of my tea. I have Monk's Sacred Blend this week. Hopefully it gives me some calm and some insight and some zen. So good. Okay. All right, now that we've done that, let us move on to our readings. Okay, so we are going to start with Aries. Hello, Aries. I am really excited about this reading for you because I think this week is going to require a ton of balance. The way I see it, you are going to be really needing to communicate. You're going to be wanting to communicate, especially in your one-on-one relationships, your partnerships, close one-on-one friendships, romantic, platonic, business, all of the above. I think you're going to really be focused on communication. So with that in mind, let's see what you're thinking, feeling, and what you're going to be doing about that. In thinking, the card that I draw for you is the Two of Pentacles reversed. Okay? That's what you're thinking. What are you feeling? The Queen of Swords reversed is how you're feeling. Interesting. Okay. What are you doing? Then we'll go over everything. Knight of Wands. Very, very you. Okay, so you are thinking about balance this week. Getting the Two of Pentacles reversed is showing me that balance is on your mind. It's a necessity. It is going to potentially also your mind is imbalanced. It's not balanced this week. So we really, really need to focus on getting you there because Mercury entering Libra is going to be a moment of understanding and clarity with your partnership. So you really need to find that balance. Especially in your thoughts, in your heart, in your emotions. It's the Queen of Swords reversed. What the Queen of Swords reversed is showing me is that what's keeping you out of balance, what's keeping your thoughts that way, is definitely some sense of sorrow, some kind of trauma, the inability for you to heal your emotional core, something you may be dealing with some kind of emotional wound that you aren't able to wield appropriately yet. And the way you're going to want to wield that is to put your thoughts back in balance. And the way you're going to do that is in the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is, I see you in the Knight of Wands. Fire and passion, forward momentum, forward thrusting, forward vibes only. In spite of everything. So I think it shows me that you're still, in spite of feeling kind of wounded, in spite of thinking imbalanced thoughts and wondering how you're going to get in balance, you're still being true to yourself. And I think at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, because everyone's going to have thoughts like that. Everyone's going to have feelings like that. We're in Libra season, where those of us who aren't Libra are trying to find what balance means to us and all of that. And if you're suffering from some kind of wound, emotional wound, some healing you need to do that through fire. Do that through figurative fire, through energy, through passion, through you, everything you are. I think the main message for this week is trust yourself. Trust who you are, what you do. You'll find balance, you'll heal your wounds, and you'll be able to move forward with Mercury onwards and upwards onto better things. So starting on October, Aries, be true to yourself. I think you'll like that. I'll see you next week. Okay, moving on to Taurus. Hello, Taurus. Okay, so this week for you is going to be about routines. It's going to be about your day-to-day, your workflow, but not just about those things, about how you communicate that. So not just about routine, but how you talk about routine. Maybe routines around communicating even. It could also just be simply that you want to find a balance between what you say and what you don't say. But let's let the cards guide us, see what we're thinking, feeling, and doing, and go from there. In thinking, King of Wands reversed. Okay. In feeling, the Star. What are we doing? The Hermit reversed. Wow. Okay, so 2 major arcanas. That's a big deal. I think at first I was kind of thinking this week for Taurus was going to be pretty straightforward. I felt like what I was seeing was that it was going to be about balance. I think this week's about balance for everyone, of course, but about balancing communication with routines for you. Kind of figuring out how stimulating conversation happens in your day-to-day. What you need that to be. I was hoping the tarot would kind of show us that. Well, it has. It just did it in a little bit of a different way than I anticipated. You got the King of Wands reversed in thoughts. Your thoughts are struggling to be creative. Your thoughts are struggling to fulfill the responsibilities that you need to fulfill while being as true to yourself as you can be. That's where your head's at this week. Your head is in this place of, I have to do what I have to do. But there's things I want to be able to do that I can't do. Or there's things I want to be thinking about that I just can't wrap my mind around. When Mercury enters Libra, that's going to help you for sure. But the other thing that's going to help you is your feelings. Because the way you're feeling, the way your intuition is flowing is the Star. The Star is the epitome of flowing intuition. It is really hopeful and healing. So your intuition is definitely on the right path. Your mind may feel a little bit restless, but your intuition, your emotions, your heart definitely knows that you're on the right path. You're doing what you're doing. You can find flow. You have access to it. Trust your intuition. That may not be super simple, and you may have some work to do around that, because in doing, it's the Hermit reversed. The Hermit reversed for you in this spread, it's showing me that either you need to branch out, or it's hard for you to tap into all of this beautiful intuition that's clearly yours to be had with the Star and feeling. Your emotional core, because of probably where your head's at, because your thoughts are kind of restless, what you're going to be doing this week is kind of avoiding the necessary connection to your intuition that you're going to need. So the Hermit reversed here can be kind of a warning. Go where you need to go inside of yourself. That will help you answer any restless thoughts that you're having, because your heart is the star. So focus on that and trust your intuition this week. I hope you do. I'll see you next week. Okay, moving on to Gemini. Hello. Okay, so Gemini, this week for you, it's going to be about having fun communicating, or trying to have fun communicating. I think that your pleasure center this week is going to involve what you say and who you say it to. It could also be kind of fun for you this week to engage in a little intellectually stimulating conversation, if that's possible. I would at least search something like that out this week if you can. But let's let the tarot do the guiding here and show us what you're going to be thinking, feeling, and doing this week. You will be thinking the King of Pentacles reversed. You will be feeling Death reversed. And you will be doing the Eight of Swords reversed. Okay. Well, King of Pentacles in thinking, Death reversed in feeling, Eight of Swords reversed in doing. All reversals. Major Arcana, Pentacles and Swords. Okay. I'm not stalling. What I'm doing, this is a tough spread for communication, certainly. This is definitely a tough spread for finding pleasure in communication. King of Pentacles in thinking is showing me that you are completely disconnected. Your thoughts are completely disconnected from the core of who you are. Your thoughts are almost in opposition to where you want them. There's the potential, though, that if you can get that, if you can clear that, if you can get that upright, that the King of Pentacles upright could be gorgeous for your thoughts. But he's reversed right now. So starting out the week, at least, you better understand that your thoughts are going to be a challenge to you. So don't let that stand in your way. You might, though, because in feeling, you got Death reversed. Basically, if in your thoughts, you're almost in opposition to your core. In your feelings, you're refusing to change. In your feelings, you're refusing to accept change. And that's a tough place to be. I think what it's showing me you're going to be doing, though, is the Eight of Swords reversed. And what that shows me is that while you'll be thinking thoughts that don't represent you, while you'll be feeling a lack of acceptance, you'll be keeping yourself in that space because you cannot be free. You won't allow yourself to be free. Because Mercury's moving into Libra this week, balanced communication is the only thing you have to focus on. It's the only thing you should focus on this week. What I mean by that is not telling everyone everything, but not telling no one nothing. Like not telling someone something, maybe. I'm laughing, but the Eight of all of these cards, actually, the Eight of Swords reverse is the one that I think is the root of your problem. I think you need to take off a blindfold. I think that blindfold is in your heart. I think you are not accepting something that has already changed in your life, and you need to accept it. Once you accept that, your mind will find the King of Pentacles, turn that upright, and you'll be able to lead from a throne. You'll be able to thrive in your core, thrive in your place. But you can only do that if you accept what your heart needs to deal with, and then deal with it. This week, deal with it. The moon is waning towards this eclipse. We we need to deal with these things now because we need to cleanse, we need to release, we need to let go of negativity. And we can't do that if we're just refusing to accept things that have already changed. So once you do that, though, you'll take off your blindfold, you'll realize that you kind of are just boundarying yourself in this stuff. And then you will get the King of Pentacles upright and thrive on your throne and thrive in your garden and in your castle and all of the places you need to. And you'll be true to yourself. But you can't if you don't accept and if you don't move on. Definitely work on that this week. You may not totally succeed, but take strides. Because whether or not you do, or whether you do or not, the eclipse will make sure that that happens. Trust Mercury in Libra. And trust yourself. I'll see you next week. Okay, moving on to Cancer. Hello. All right, Cancer. So this week for you, I'm seeing Mercury entering Libra, affecting your foundations, your home life, your root systems, things that are really, really, really crucially important to you are going to get a really nice dose of intellectual approach, a really nice dose of communication in all the right ways, really localized communication, which I'm really excited about. So hopefully the tarot reflects that, but let's see. Thinking, feeling, doing. Starting with thinking, the card I draw is the Emperor reversed. Okay, let's just move on. Feeling, the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, what are we doing this week, Cancer? Ooh. The Three of Wands. Wow, okay, awesome. For you, this week is about ruling, owning it, and doing it in a way that you feel comfortable with. So I'm really, really excited about that. Especially since this is, I'm thinking, is going to have to do with, Mercury's, the rest of the time Mercury's in Libra, you kind of have access to this spread, which is really exciting. But we are specifically talking about this week. So this week, you're thinking the Emperor reversed. The way that I see that for you, based on how I'm looking at the astrology, is that you are going to be compassionate while still understanding boundaries. You are going to enforce the boundaries you have set around your foundation, around your home space. You're going to enforce those boundaries in a benevolent way. You're going to enforce those boundaries in a way that is balanced with compassion, with thoughtfulness. So you're still going to have all your perfect boundaries that you require, but you set up such good ones that you're going to be able to approach anyone coming up to those boundaries or any thoughts coming up to those boundaries. You're going to be able to protect yourself while simultaneously being kind to yourself, being accepting of others, forgiving of yourself and forgiving of others. You're going to be able to let the right people in and nicely turn away the thoughts and people that aren't welcome. So I'm excited about that. And the reason that I think you'll be able to succeed at keeping these boundaries sturdy while also having that flexibility is because in your feelings, in your heart, you're the Queen of Pentacles. You are self-assured, self-trusting, and self-aware. And you, again, are able to rule in a compassionate, benevolent, altruistic, but balanced way. The Emperor reversed and the Queen of Pentacles are benevolent rulers. That's what you're doing. But the other thing you're doing is a Three of Wands. So while you're able to trust yourself and lead from this place of power, you've got your eyes peeled. You are looking out on the horizon to make sure you know who's coming. You are checking all of your spaces, all the nooks and crannies, looking everywhere you need to look, underneath the rugs. You're checking everything to make sure that your space is safe, that it's protected, but also that everything you need to happen outside of that space can happen the way you want it to, because you've got your eyes on it. So think about compassion, trust your heart, but keep your eyes peeled. That's the guidance this week. I'll see you next week. Okay, moving on to Leo. Hello, Leo. All right, Leo. So this week for you is all about communication. Localized communication. I think you're going to be staying kind of close to home, not just totally in the home this week, but definitely close to home, and you're going to want to talk about it. So let's hope the tarot guides us there to see how far we can go out, what we need to say, who we need to say it to, or just in general, kind of more of a guidance about Mercury entering Libra and how communication and balance is so important. Those are kind of the key phrases for us this week. So let's go. Thinking. What are you thinking? Eight of Swords reversed. What are you feeling then? Ace of Cups reversed. What are you doing? Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So, in your thoughts, you are trapped by your own devices. You are trapped because of some useless boundary you set up a while ago that has nothing to do with anything. It's really that clear. You're trapping yourself in your mind. You aren't letting yourself see the structures around you correctly. You're not letting yourself be free of things you can just be free of that are not really holding you back. And you need to. The reason I think you're doing that is because what's in your feelings is the Ace of Cups reversed. You are also not accepting the gifts around you. Probably because in your mind you're closed off. Basically, you feel blindfolded. You feel mentally blindfolded. And because of that, you're also blocking your heart. You're blindfolding your heart as well. You're keeping your heart under wraps. So the essence of Leo is missing at the beginning of this week. Big time. And I don't know if that's just because of what Virgo season was for us. I don't know if that's because something's happening in your world that's challenging. But it's tough to see these two cards reversed in our hearts and in our minds. In doing, we got the Knight of Pentacles. In doing, I guess we're doing what Leo does when their mind and heart is blindfolded, and we just kind of stay steady, looking ahead, not really shining bright, not really connecting with everything around us. And we don't do well in that space. October has some tough stuff for everyone. But the tough stuff comes with some beautiful potential. And I think it's showing me that where you are at the beginning of the month, this week, your heart and your mind are really blocked from the essence of yourself. And you're doing a great job staying steady, but you need to connect deeper. We need deep connection. Go look at some art this week. Go listen to your favorite music. Go to a group meeting if you feel that too. Like, do something that gets you to the place that feels like your essence. If you don't feel like it, it's probably because your heart and mind are blocked. But even if you don't, try to tap into you this week. Spend the entire week just trying to find out how to take off the blindfold. I think it's about feeling, because feeling is completely absent in this spread. You need to feel something. So do whatever it is you usually do when you want to dive deep into your feelings. Trigger yourself there. Trigger those emotions, and bring out that Leo fire. Bring out the roar. Bring out the energy. We need our pride. Feeling and pride is absent. Warmth is absent in this spread. This is at the start of the week. By the end of the week, let's free ourselves. Let's clear out that mess. Clear out those blockages. Get rid of it. Light ourselves up, guys. I want to do that. I don't want to be these. I want to be free. Let's do that together. I'll see you next week. Okay, now we're moving on to Virgo. Hi, Virgo. So let's start. As I shuffle, I want to talk really quickly just about how I'm seeing October, or the first week of October, this week for you. I feel like since Mercury in Libra is the focus, I think you're going to be really focused on how you're balancing your assets with your self-worth. I think you learned a lot from last season. Your season was amazing. It was super valuable for everyone. It was really challenging, but really good. I've said that a billion times, but for you specifically this week, Mercury taught you a lot about your identity. Now Mercury wants to teach you about how to balance that in the most Virgo way possible. So let's start with thinking, feeling, and doing. In thinking, 2 of Pentacles. Perfect. Feeling. Knight of Cups reversed. Doing. Four of Cups reversed. Okay, so 2 of Pentacles in thinking is showing me that your mind is balanced. Perfect. I'm not worried about you at all then, because if a Virgo's mind is balanced, we are in the clear, we're good to go. You will be all set in your thoughts this week. Trust your thoughts. If you're starting to feel out of whack, go back to into the intellectual side. It's the only option for you. That's where you're going to find pleasure and balance, in your thoughts and intellect. That's where it's at. In feeling, it's the Knight of Cups reversed. So I think you're also going to be maybe tapping into some stuff you're not used to tapping into. You may be tapping into some imaginative, illusory places. You may be letting yourself dream and letting that propel you forward. Maybe it's because you trust your thoughts and you feel so balanced in your mind that in your heart, you're ready to open up a little bit. And I think that's exactly what you'll be doing, because in doing, we got the 4 of Cups reversed, showing me that what you will be doing is you will be using this balance of heart and mind to see and accept and receive all the gifts that the week has to offer you. I think this is signifying that Mercury in Libra is going to be a really good time for you, a really important time of balancing heart and mind and using that to full practical effect in the real world. I love seeing this for you. You deserve this. This week, I think, this spread is the start of a transition that may be challenging, but that will be full of gifts that you are open and ready and willing to receive and will accept. I'm so excited for you for that. Please, please do that. Dive deep into that intuition. Trust your intuition. Trust your mind. Trust what you see around you. And trust that you need to accept what you know you need to accept. I'll see you next week. Okay, moving on to Libra. Hello, Libra. All right, so we are still solidly in Libra season. Mercury moves into Libra this week. So you are having a time. We are so excited about Libra season. Eclipse season is coming up, but right now we are focused on some of these planets changing signs, Mercury moving into your sign, and I want this to bring a balance to your identity. I want this to bring a sense of intellectualism for you, a sense of clear and concise and crisp communication. So let's hope the tarot guides us there. In thinking, 8 of Pentacles reversed. Okay. What are we feeling, Libra? The Wheel of Fortune reversed. Okay. What are you doing this week? The Knight of Cups. Interesting. Okay. So, one thing I wasn't really thinking about, but that is maybe clearly showing up here is this idea of work. Let me explain what I mean. In thinking, you got the Eight of Pentacles reversed. So I feel like whatever you're working on this week, whether that's at home, in your mind, maybe it's a self-help thing, whether it's how you're helping other people or whatever, you're focused too much on the end result and not on the actual process. Focusing on the process, thinking about the process is going to be critical for you starting this week. Remember, this week is the beginning of a whole new month also. We have a lot of your season left too. So don't rush to get to the end of Libra season. Don't rush to get to the end. We're at the beginning of all of these things. The transitions are coming, the changes are coming, but right now, focus on the process. Don't think about the end result. Because I think it's affecting your feelings. It's affecting your ability to accept the turning. You're so focused on the end result that you are almost in denial about the changing of times. It's like with the Wheel of Fortune reversed in feeling, you are not accepting that seasons are changing, times are changing, the moon is waning, the planets are changing signs, there is an eclipse in your sign coming up. It's almost like you're simultaneously looking too far to the future and also not accepting the present. And that's probably what's happening. You're looking to the future because you can't accept the present. Focus on the present in your mind and in your heart. But in doing, I got the Knight of Cups. He's very neutral. And I think focusing on the present can sometimes feel very neutral. But you can handle neutral. It's better than one extreme or the other extreme. It doesn't inspire a whole bunch of gorgeous imagination and a bunch of creative feeling and all of that, but you may not need that right now. You kind of just need to live in the present. It's okay that his cup is kind of not full of something exciting. It's okay. You need right now to focus on what's in front of you. This spread tells me that clearly, because you need to accept that time will move on. You need to enjoy your season as it is right now. Don't worry about the changing of the seasons. Accept it, but don't think about it. Just focus on the day-to-day. Focus on the process, the routine. And I think you will, because the Knight of Cups shows me that while you still have an eye forward, you know that you're going to be moving forward. You're obviously looking to the future. You can stay stable and harmonious and balanced. And that's what you'll need this week. You'll need very Libra vibes this week. So that's good. You'll have them. But don't focus on the future too much. Focus on the present. Do a meditation to stay rooted in the present this week. That's your homework. I'll see you next week. Okay, so now we're moving on to Scorpio. Hello, hello. Okay, Scorpio. So this week for you is about communicating and balancing, or maybe tapping into, listening to your intuition, your unconscious mind, the hidden places, which you actually love. There's going to be a kind of clarity around that part of you, within that part of you. You'll be able to tap into that. So hopefully the tarot guides us to how we can do that this week. So, thinking. Three of Pentacles reversed. Feeling. Two of Swords. Okay, what are we doing this week? Four of Pentacles. Okay. So, thinking is the Three of Pentacles. So you are thinking about a struggle to collaborate, You are thinking about difficulty in groups. There maybe is a difficulty in your group and it's on your mind. You also may be struggling to understand what you bring best to your group. What is that quality or that skill that you bring to the group? You may be struggling to know what that is. You're certainly struggling to bring that to everyone, but they need it. I think why you're struggling to do that is because of what you're feeling. Two of Swords shows me that you are caught between two ideas. Maybe it's just that you're really awesome at two different things and you don't know which one to bring to the group, and that's what's struggling. It's probably more that you are just so torn about what you bring to the group, how you should fit in, that you're just kind of being defensive. You're definitely blocking off your heart. Maybe the group actually needs your heart. Maybe they need your passion. But you are being self-defensive right now. You're defending yourself right now. Maybe you need to. Maybe that's a good thing. So don't take this as a negative. You may have to protect yourself from that. But because your thoughts are the Three of Pentacles reversed, I think you need to choose what you're good at. Don't get locked in like the Two of Swords, like she is. Don't block yourself off. Choose one and then bring that to the group. If what the group needs is the other thing, guess what? You still have it. You can always bring that too. I think, though, that you might not choose because in doing it's the Four of Pentacles, meaning you are going to be holding on to your assets full as tightly as you can. So I think this week you might stay closed off to the group. Maybe you need to, and maybe you should. Mercury entering Libra on Wednesday. Listen to what your intuition tells you on Wednesday. If your intuition says, hold on a little bit longer to what you have. Eclipse season is coming up. We need to protect ourselves. Don't jump into decisions. Then listen to that. If your intuition says, this is it. I have full clarity. This is what my unconscious mind wants me to know. I've revealed the hidden truth and I don't need to be blocked. I'm going to open my heart up to the group. Share my resources. Then do that. But listen to your intuition on Wednesday and then decide one way or the other. I wonder what it'll be. I'll see you next week. All right, now we're moving on to Sagittarius. Hello. All right, Sagittarius. So as I'm shuffling, let's just quickly go over what I'm seeing for you this week. This week is going to be, I think for you, provide some clarity to your groups. I'm just going to keep it simple. I think it's clarity and groups. Let's let the tarot guide us even further, though. What are you thinking? This week, you are thinking the Two of Wands. What are you feeling? You are feeling the Three of Wands. Okay. Reversed. He is definitely reversed. You're thinking the Two of Wands, you're feeling the Three of Wands reversed. What are you doing? You are doing the Six of Pentacles reversed. Okay. So, in your groups, you have a lot of responsibility, I feel like. I feel like this shows me that you have a lot of responsibility in your groups and are, at this stage, really important to them. It could be a work situation, like you're leading a project or whatever. You're managing something that needs to be managed and people are relying on you. Or not even that at all. It could literally just be that it could be your family. It could be anything. But regardless, your groups need something you have to offer. You're thinking the Two of Wands, which means to me in this spread this week for you that you are thinking a lot. You're planning, you're observing. You might feel a little trapped by that within your mind. You might feel a little like you that you just kind of have to isolate within those thoughts, and you might. If you're leading the group in particular, you may be having to do a lot of planning inside your head, and that may be kind of make you feel kind of trapped in your head. In feeling, I think you're worried about those plans. In feeling, we got the Three of Wands reversed, and it's showing me that you're kind of, in your heart, you're worried. You're worried that your plans may fail. You're worried that there may be like some kind of obstacle getting in the way of them. Maybe people won't do what they need to do in your groups. I was talking about a work situation, but this really could just be a friend group. Maybe it's just how the friend group is flowing right now. You know how that feels. Either way, you're worried that your best laid plans, your intuition, maybe your heart is telling you that there may be some struggle with your plans. So what you're going to be doing about that, apparently, is the Six of Pentacles reversed. The way that I'm looking at the Six of Pentacles reversed for you in this situation based on this spread is that you are going to be completely freely giving all of your plans and all of your attention. I don't think you're going to be balancing what you're giving to who and when you're giving it and what you're keeping for yourself. I think you're going to be fully open to giving this week. That may help you stay out of this brain space where you feel trapped by planning. That may help you get over some of these obstacles because you'll have people around you that you know you're helping, so they may owe you. They may rely on you and therefore really need you, and that's a good symbiotic relationship. And I think that with the Six reversed in this case, I think you are going to be freely giving. I hope you are, because your groups are really, really going to need it this week. Mercury in Libra is going to clear up which groups and why and what they need. So listen to that. Trust your intuition, because if you see obstacles coming, they might be. But don't trap yourself inside. Share your plans. Be the guide. Be the giver this week. And then maybe next week you can receive. I'll see you then. Okay, Capricorn. Let's get started. Hello. Okay, Capricorn. So this week for you, I'm really seeing that we are going to be dealing with your public face. But not just dealing with it. You are going to be able to communicate in that zone with clarity. You are going to be able to use your intellect and some of the stuff you learned when Mercury was in retrograde, the stuff that maybe was tough then, is going to be easy now. And if you don't feel that, hopefully the tarot can help guide us there, because I'm seeing a balance in your communication and I'm seeing it relating to how you communicate with the outside world. So let's keep going. Thinking, feeling, doing. What are you thinking? King of Cups reversed. Okay. How are you feeling? The Sun reversed. And what are you doing? Death reversed. Okay, 3 reversals, 2 major arcana reversals. This is an interesting week. Okay, let's start though with your thoughts. Thinking you got the King of Cups reversed. The way I see that is you are not trusting in what I just said. You are not trusting in the idea that you're going to be able to communicate effectively to the outside world and fulfill the role that you need to in it. That's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle in your thoughts, and I think that it's getting in the way of your heart. Because in feeling, it's the Sun reversed. The Sun reversed has all the beauty of the sun. It's just clouded. And I think in your heart, you have this bright, vibrant sunshine you're ready to share and show, but you can't because you're clouded by your thoughts. And your thoughts are full of doubts. That's going to lead to what you're doing this week, which is death reversed. You are going to be in denial. You are going to do everything you can to deny the fact that things have changed around you. You're going to do everything you can to deny the idea that you have grown and changed and are able to communicate what you need to. that you are able to be and show the public face you want to show. You're able to be that person. You are that person. You're going to be denying that your heart has become a space of light and vibrancy. And you're going to be doing that because you're only going to be thinking about doubts. You're only going to be doubting yourself. It's going to keep your heart from shining, keep that from other people. It's going to also keep you from accepting transition, from accepting that things have changed. Whatever it is in your life, something's changed and you have to accept it. You're going to actively fight that this week. You're going to actively try to cloud your beautiful, vibrant heart. And you're going to be doing that because you can't stop doubting yourself. You can't stop denying who you really are. And you can't accept the situation is what the situation is. The best way to do that is to trust yourself. Clear those clouds in your mind, and that'll open up your vibrant, sunshiny heart to not only accept what you need to accept, to not only move on with what you need to move on, but to do that with a vibrancy that's going to get you through eclipse season, where transformation will happen whether we want to or not, whether we accept it or not, and whether we're ready or not. But you've got the sun in your heart. Clear up space for it to shine. I'll see you next week. Okay, moving on to Aquarius. Hello, Aquarius. Okay, so Aquarius, for you this week, it's all about the journey, but not just about the journey. It's about clarity and being clear-eyed on the journey. The journey is going to have some clarity for you this week, and that's going to be super essential because eclipse season's coming up. And we are going to need clarity from the beginning. So lucky you have access to that, especially access to that on the journey we're all on. So thinking, feeling, doing, let's go. In thinking, the card I draw for you is the 8 of Swords. What are you feeling? If that's what you're thinking, what are you feeling? The Devil. Okay, those are your thoughts and your feelings. What are you doing? The Wheel of Fortune reversed. Wow. Okay, so there's one very clear message from the very, very start, and that is that you are feeling trapped. I can see that you are feeling trapped. Maybe you aren't being able to be true to yourself right now. Maybe you are held back by something. Regardless, in your thoughts and in your heart, in your mind and in your heart, you are feeling completely trapped. The good news is that you aren't, based on these cards as well. So thinking is the 8 of Swords. You're feeling like you are bordered in by something. You're boundaried beyond belief. Maybe you have some crazy Saturn transits this week, but you are feeling very, very trapped in your mind. Your mind is feeling like you cannot break free. Your heart is feeling like triple that. It's feeling like you aren't doing it to yourself. Something is trapping you. You feel like maybe you're bringing others in with you. You're feeling this kind of extreme sense of fire that you can't escape from. And what that's making you do is stalling you out big time. It's making you not accept change. The 8 of Swords in thinking says that your thoughts, once you can free your thoughts, once you can calm down, let Mercury provide clarity and balance. Once you can do that, so maybe on Wednesday when Mercury enters Libra, once you can do that, you'll see that the only thing trapping you is you. Someone may have made you feel that way. Maybe you just made yourself feel that way, but someone could have made you feel that way. Once you let yourself be clear, you will find that you are not trapped. You can free yourself from this false bondage. You can free yourself from that. Your heart, though, is all you. You need, with getting the Devil in your emotions. It shows me that you need to push yourself. No matter if someone else puts you here, you need to push yourself beyond those feelings, beyond those thoughts, beyond this phase of the journey. You've got to move forward, because with the Wheel of Fortune reversed in doing, you are stalled out, you're stuck, you refuse to move forward. And you have to move forward. Because if you do that this week, if you can use that stuff I was talking about at the beginning, where you have access to this clarity on the journey, if you can use that now to free your mind and your heart, to liberate yourself. These two cards are the thinking and feeling cards are calling for liberation. If you can do that, you can accept the turning of the wheel, accept what happens, because the eclipses will do that for you if you don't. You need to be prepared for these eclipses, and the only way to do that is through self-liberation. Start this week. You may not be free as a bird by the end, turning with the wheel in full bliss, but you'll be close enough to be able to protect yourself once eclipse season starts. Self-liberation, Aquarius. That's it. I'll see you next week. Okay, moving on to Pisces. Hello, Pisces. Okay, so let's start shuffling and go over the astrology just really quickly. The way that I'm seeing this week for you is that you are going to be really having to balance what's yours and what is others. What you own and what you share is going to be crucial. And balance in that situation is going to also be essential. But Mercury is going to provide a healthy dose of clarity and some healthy, balanced communication around sharing. Maybe it's, balanced communication in general. So regardless, let's get on with the spread, Thinking, feeling, doing. Let's see what you are thinking, feeling, and doing. In thinking, the Two of Pentacles. Okay? What are you feeling this week? The Ten of Pentacles. Okay? And what are you doing? Judgment reversed. Okay. So, Two Pentacles and a reversed Judgment. Pisces. This week is going to be a mixed bag, I think. But I think in the end it'll be good, because you'll be able to use your heart and your mind to affect what you're doing. But before we go there, let's start. In thinking, you got the Two of Pentacles, showing me that your mind is completely balanced and you're enjoying it. That's a great place to be as Mercury enters Libra in particular. Really trust that. If you don't feel that, trust that. Meaning, trust yourself. Trust your brain. Trust your intellect. This part of you is smart. Trust that part of you. That's going to be absolutely critical. And in feeling, it's the Ten of Pentacles. So if you're feeling kind of stable, kind of balanced, you might be feeling like you are ready for a change. You might be feeling like maybe potentially a little restless in your safe space. Don't worry about that. The eclipses will help you find anything that you wanted to there, meaning that they're going to push your buttons and your boundaries. But you're balanced in your thoughts. You're balanced and secure in your heart. But what you're doing is Judgment reversed. Even if you are balanced in a practical way, in your heart and in your mind, with your thoughts and with your feelings, you're having a really hard time accepting something that has changed. You're having a really hard time accepting that you have to move on from something. I hope that doesn't mean that what's in your thoughts and your heart, what's in your heart and your mind is denial, because Judgment reversed here says that wherever those things are, you aren't going to be accepting what you need to accept to move on. I think this is a really good card to get at the beginning of the week, at the beginning of the month, because before eclipse season, because it shows that even if we are in a place of balance in our thoughts and in our minds, we want to stay there. Don't get me wrong. You have to stay in that place. You need to stay in the Two of Pentacles. You need to keep that in your mind. The Ten of Pentacles, you need to keep in your heart. These are cards that show me that you are ready to accept. Why you're not accepting it is why you have to dig deeper. We're missing every other suit here. We have Pentacles. We don't have Cups. We don't have Wands. We don't have Swords. So you're feeling chill and you're feeling good and you're feeling in the physical material world, you're feeling really balanced. That's great. Accepting judgment, accepting transition, accepting what these eclipses are going to bring, potentially, is going to require passion, emotion, fire, energy, intellect, and pragmatism. It's going to require everything inside of you as much as it's going to require balance outside. So here's the good news. You already have the balance outside. Trust your mind. Trust the security of your heart. Trust those things. Just bring in passion, emotion, the stuff you actually do the best. That's why it all in all Judgment Reverse doesn't scare me here, because you're Pisces. You'll tap into it. You know how to bring the deep underworld, the deep unconscious, the imaginative and the mystical. You know how to bring all of that into the material world. It's what you do best. So that's why seeing these two pentacles in your hearts and minds is beautiful. You got that part, but don't forget the rest. Dig that stuff up, bring it to the surface. You need it and everyone else needs it. And then we can all accept things and move on. I hope we do. I hope you do. I'll see you next week. Okay, wow. Okay, so after doing those readings, I definitely see that balance is key, like I thought. A lot of us got balance-specific cards. The other key theme for tons of the readings was self-liberation. This idea that we are trapping ourselves, I think, was key. I think a lot of this week, for a lot of us, is going to be internal as well. Stuff we're doing to ourselves, stuff we need to do to ourselves, stuff we need to hear and to feel that come from us, our agency. All of that seemed to be very, very important. I didn't see a lot coming from the outside world in. So I think this week starts from you, from your core, from your hearts, from the core of your heart, from the core of your mind. I think that you need to focus on what you know and use that to liberate. I think that's what I'm seeing for all of us. With a healthy dose of balance. Some of us are balanced, some of us aren't, but all of us need self-liberation. Free your hearts and your minds. That's the best way to help yourself, and that's the best way to help others. And it's the best way to start this month. Have an awesome week, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting and liking. I cannot tell you how grateful I am. And I'm sending you all of my love this week. Think about Mercury as it enters Libra. Honor it. Be excited about it. And we will continue onwards together. Thank you so much. See you next week.